All right, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. We are live from the vault of the Andrew Johnson Bank studio. It is now 10:24 on Wednesday, March 15th, and we are now joined by the one and only Joe Kazana from International Allstar Championship Wrestling. If you tune in on Saturday nights at 6 o'clock and on Tuesday nights at 7 and 8, you can see Mr. Kazana hanging out with his very good friend and broadcast partner, the man with the hands of stone, Mr. Ronnie Garvin.
Definitely.
So you guys are in the studio today, and I want to I don't know if anyone got a chance to watch the episode we had with Mr. Izzy Slapowitz, but he was in here with Mr. Joe Kazana. But today you have a new friend, so you want to talk about what's going on?
I do have a friend in here now. Now let's go back and say Izzy Slapowitz is no friend of mine. I know he's a friend of yours.
Yes.
You let that be known the last time we were in here. Of course, Josh over here couldn't figure you guys out. But in any
Josh
case,
is still.
What we're here to talk about today is the big professional wrestling show we've got at Meigs County High School up in Decatur, Tennessee on April the 1st. Mm-hmm. And I brought my friend Jason Fitzgerald, and he is the head football coach for Meigs County, has been for quite some time. And this was brought to me last year from him, and I'll kind of turn it over to him for a couple minutes and just let him kind of give you an overview of what's going on.
Sure, welcome, Coach.
Thank you. And, and when you're dealing with high school sports, you have to raise your own money and do your own things, and you're always looking for a way to raise those funds because, especially in football, it's getting more and more expensive to outfit the kids the way they need to be done, and safety is a very important issue. So Joe and I started talking. I knew he was in doing the wrestling and had done some successful shows, so I got with him and said, hey, let's set something up at the high school and see what we can do. And man, it was a great show last year. There were people outside, an hour
around 6 o'clock.
Yeah, an hour before we were opening the doors to come in and see it, and it just kind of shocked me of how much interest there really was in the wrestling. And we had a great crowd, probably, 600-700 last year. Hope to get it to at least 1,000 this year. And Joe's got a great card lined up again for us this year, and just thankful to him for what he's doing to help us raise funds so that we can have the best program possible there at Meigs County High School.
Absolutely.
Josh and Jay, it's so easy to do. You've got a proven football coach over here in Coach Fitzgerald. He's done wonders with these kids, with this team. They honestly, when Coach came in, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys, before you got here, it was 2, 3, 4 wins a season.
Yeah, I believe there was. I've been through 3 seasons now, and when I got there was 3 wins in the last 3 years before I got there, and we finished 10-2 last year. Should have got another one at the end, but that's a whole different story. But kids are doing some great things. Have a great administration there, from the superintendent, Mr. Roberts, to the principal, Mr. Baker, and on down. And just a great community. Decatur's still a community. If you go to the high school softball game on Monday, it's going to be packed. If you go to the baseball game, it's going to be full. If you go to the basketball game, it's going to be full. If you come on Friday nights, it's going to be full. It's one of the few schools that still has that small town, everybody into a lot of pride, everybody into it. There's not a lot of other things to do on Friday nights like there are in most places, and people going from here to there. Anytime the Tigers are playing, whatever it is, they're going to be there to support you.
That's awesome.
No doubt. They're there, like he said, every Friday night at standing room only. And
there's really been some good success in our sports programs. Just since I've been there, the basketball team has been to the state tournament. The girls' basketball team has been to the state tournament. Boys have been to the sub-state twice. Girls have been to the sub-state again. The baseball team was in the state tournament last year. The girls' softball team won the state tournament last year. Have a pitcher, Ashley Rogers, who's already committed to University of Tennessee. She's just a junior, so we expect them to be back at the state tournament this year. We were able to win 10 games in football last year, so things are going well there.
Is there anything you can attribute the caliber is raising as far as the quality of athletes and all the programs are benefiting? And like you said, just running for state almost every year, and they're making tournaments. Is there something you can say, like, this is what's making that happen?
Well, the kids are the ones that makes it happen to start with, because without them, you're not anything. But you've also got good coaches that are there in each sport. And again, when you go to successful high school teams, you go back and look at the administration who's going to do whatever possible to make you successful, and then you go back and look at the community, and the community's
Right.
there to make you successful. No matter what it is, we could go to the softball field today, and there's going to be parents working on the softball field, grandparents out there working on the softball field, just helping to be successful. If we need something at the football field, the community's there to help. It's just, it's not simply one thing, but it's all tied together, and that's what a lot of high schools miss. You might have the community support, but you don't have the administration support.
Right.
Or you have the administration support, but you don't have the community support, and it just it's
Everyone
just
needs
all
to be bought in.
Everybody needs to be bought in, and right now, like I say, starting at the top with Mr. Roberts and even the school board and the county commission and on down. I mean, everybody is there and everybody wants to support that team. It all goes back to what we talked about and the pride that they have in Meigs County and Meigs County High School and what's going on there.
Absolutely. And Joe, let's talk about this card that you
Sure.
have for this event because, and I'll pull this up so everyone can take a look at it. I've myself have personally seen a lot of these folks in action. I can tell you right now, the gentleman that you have in the main event, Mr. Jerry Sampson, he's a very talented individual. He's had a little bit of a he's on a rocky slide right now as far as
I don't know so much about a
IACW.
rocky slide, but I will say this in an upcoming episode from International All-Star Wrestling. It may even be this weekend. I'm not sure, but Sampson had a few words for Coach Fitzgerald here, and
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. Coach Fitzgerald didn't back down from this guy. I don't know what's going on with Jerry Sampson. This sudden new attitude and this nonsense that he's bought into. He thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. The man makes arrogant covers. He picks the guys up by their hair.
Well, I notice he likes to put the boot on the chest as a cover, doesn't hook the leg kind
I'm
of
going
thing.
to tell you
like
something. If
he's-
somebody put a boot on my chest back in my wrestling days, I'd have gotten up and I'd have popped them right in the mouth. I don't care how hurt I was. But that's just not only does that show a complete total lack of respect, but it does show just how arrogant he is. And I'll tell you something. He did something a couple of weeks ago. Sampson did over in North Carolina to Shane Williams. And I'm going to say this about Shane. He was coming in to defend the AML title that night against Chase Stevens. Problem is, somebody on this card, the arrogance of excellence to name the guy, cost Mr. Williams his championship a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen in this situation, but
Yep.
Shane Williams isn't exactly happy. I've spoken with Shane 3 or 4 different times, and he's begging and pleading with me to change the matches around and put him in the main event lumberjack match against Sampson. And I know that he spoke with Gary Valiant as well.
Right.
So I don't know what's going to come from that. We do have a meeting that morning, the 3 of us, and we're going to discuss it. But with this lumberjack match, it also comes into play. Coach Fitzgerald is the special referee for this match.
Aha.
And I think that's one reason Sampson got in your face at television.
He's trying to maybe intimidate you a little bit, try to
he's not
sway
gonna
things his
intimidate
direction.
Maybe a
guy.
little bit, but good luck to that.
He's not going to intimidate this guy right here.
Well, I
And-
do want you to explain, because I know what you're talking about when you say
Sure.
a lumberjack match. Some people are like, well, what the heck is that? Well, explain a
Basically,
lumberjack
what
match.
a lumberjack match is Sampson. Not only is he good about just showing his true, ridiculous side, but he's also good for running around the ring, running back to
Getting-
the dressing
getting
room,
away
skipping
from it,
out.
yeah.
Exactly. So what these lumberjacks are here to do is to make sure that Mr. Sampson keeps himself in the ring. And to make matters worse for Mr. Sampson is that 12 of the high school football players
Ooh.
are going to be the lumberjacks.
So he ain't.
And
So he's not going anywhere.
he's not going anywhere. Coach Fitzgerald basically he's giving the boys a contest to see who's going to be the lumberjacks. But when it's all said and done, it's Coach Fitzgerald who's going to handpick some of his lumberjacks, and I'm sure some of them's going to be some of his big offensive
I was going
linemen.
to say there's probably going to be some linemen in this group.
But that's a good contest too. They're out selling tickets right now, and I said, whoever sells 12 that sell the most are going to get to be in this lumberjack match, and
Nice.
they're all excited about that.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens, and depending on who it is, if it's all smaller guys, we may have to include a couple of bigger guys
Well, the
as
good
well
thing
to
about
make
the
sure.
smaller guys, I think they can outrun Sampson.
Probably, yeah.
But I'll say this: that's going to be a terrific match. But one match that I'm looking forward to, and I know that you know who these guys are, tag team match.
Right, I was going to mention that because you got the World Tag Team Title match. You got the Heat Seekers in here. The Heat Seekers, if you've never seen them work
these
before, these
guys-
guys are talented.
these guys are two of the most talented, individuals, and they put themselves together as the Heat Seekers. And I've known both of them since about 2009, and these guys are really, really good. But to align themselves with Izzy Slapowitz.
I was gonna throw that in there. They really haven't chosen some good company.
Yeah, you're happy
you're
about
an Izzy
that, aren't
Slapowitz
Hey,
fan.
I am a personal member of the Slapowitz Syndicate.
And he does have a T-shirt for you. I do know that. But the Heat Seekers are going to be defending against Stan Lee. And what Stan did do, now I can tell you this, that usually you would have Stan and Stephen Cadillac Burns together.
Yes.
Problem
the
is
Cadillac Cowboy.
Cadillac Cowboy is booked elsewhere that night. So Stan did a little digging. He contacted me about getting in touch with former Party Boy, former Southeastern champion, the Party Boy Davey Rich.
Nice.
So Davey Rich is making his return to East Tennessee, and I know all the fans in Knoxville, Chattanooga, Alabama is going to see, and remember Davey. And Davey's also bringing his cousin Johnny Crash Rich in here with him. And that's just to make sure that Izzy Slapowitz
we're stacking
keeps
the deck
himself
against
at bay.
the Slapowitz Syndicate here.
You've got to stack against the Slapowitz Syndicate,
You got
Jay,
to.
because if you don't, Slapowitz is going to get involved and bring 40 different guys out there to beat up on these guys. I've been a member of that syndicate, and I would never go back to being a member of that syndicate. But he's going to bring in Crash, and the Party Boys are going to be back together again. The only thing we're missing right now is Tommy Rich.
Right.
And
I noticed
unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in touch with Tommy, or he'd be here.
right.
But again, you're going to see Shane Williams is going to be there. I'm just not exactly sure what our little meeting's going to do for that. But you've also got another match that you're going to have out here in this tag deal that you've got. You're going to have two of the other football coaches involved, and Coach Fitzgerald knows them well, of course, Zach Harris and Tommy the Bull Bunch. And Tommy Bunch was part of the show last year, and he actually wrestled on the show last year. And he's going to be in the corner of the Heat Seekers. Now, Coach, I don't understand why he's going to be in the corner of the Heat Seekers. You may have to have him do up-downs on the football field just for that. But then Zach Harris is also going to be in the corner of Davey Rich and Stan Lee, again, to keep Slapowitz and all his cronies at bay. And you guys know he's got that big machine, that's on his payroll, 6'2", 315 pounds, and he's a monster.
Yeah, and he is referred to as the Machine.
Oh, exactly, the
So,
Machine.
for a reason.
Exactly, and of course you're going to have Andrew the Law Howard, who made his debut a year ago at this show, and he's actually getting a title match against SPCW champion Lamar Phillips, and that match right there should be interesting. Andrew Howard just came off it was a loss, but he wrestled Tyler Gaines at television a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to tell you something. For no more than Howard's been in the ring, he gave Tyler Gaines all he wanted. Clay Higgins going to make an appearance again this year. He started last year. Clay is becoming more of a referee with International All-Star Wrestling. That's kind of what he wants to do, but he did want to do this because of the whole tie as far as doing the fundraising thing. He wanted to do that, and of course you see the Machine's going to be there. But one match in particular that I know some of the gentlemen out there may be interested in will be Fantasy and Roxy.
Okay, yeah,
Now,
I've
these two
seen
gals
Roxy
right
before.
here, I've
yeah.
seen these two gals fight. And when I say fight, I mean fight. I don't mean scratching each other's eyes or pulling hair. I mean fight. And these two will give each other a run for the money. And, they're both good wrestlers in their own right. It's not just a show where you're going to come see two girls go out here and try to look the prettiest. These two are going to fight. And but all in all, this show is going to be great. Coach Fitzgerald was involved in a battle royal last year. As a matter of fact, this guy won the battle royal last year. And
Defending.
It was
Interesting.
Yeah.
Reigning
Very
and
interesting.
defending.
Raining and defending. Unfortunately, we're
I'm
not having
done.
one
That's
this year.
right.
Yeah,
I'm done.
That's what he said. He said,
I'm done. I'm going to the position of referee.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
it.
say we're gonna
You're
put
going to
the-
retire with the perfect
I'm
record.
retired
Yeah.
with a perfect record. That is right.
But
Absolutely.
he will. Coach Fitzgerald's going to, he'll do what he has to do with Sampson. And I'll just say this, and I'm totally speaking for Coach here, and I'm sure he doesn't mind. But if Jerry Sampson gets out of line, I'm sure Coach Fitzgerald won't have a problem slapping the taste right out of his mouth.
Oh man, it's going to be on. So let me put this back up here again. So go check out the Spring Fling 17 triple main event. This will be at Meigs County High School on Saturday, April 1st. Admission $10. 100% of the proceeds go to the Meigs County football team.
100%. And like I say, our kids are out selling right now. They've got tickets. If you know any of those guys, just ask them for tickets. They'll be able to get them to you. You can get them at the door. You can call the school there, and we can get tickets to you. So whatever you need to do.
Let's buy a 4-pack today. Let's
Yes.
buy 4 tickets, and we're going to give them away on the
Yes,
show. That's
we'll
okay.
give them away on the show.
Sounds good.
Very cool.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and this is being presented by International All-Star Championship Wrestling as well, and promotions with and coordination and production with J&J Promotions. Doors open at 6:15.
Is that us, J&J? Are we
I
promoting
don't think
this?
so. We get called J&J a lot, but no, different promotion, but
It's a different J&J.
different J&J. But doors open at 6:15 for a meet and greet, so you can come in and meet the wrestlers,
Come in,
get
meet
some
the wrestlers,
autographs.
look
Bell
at-
time
yeah,
at 7:30.
exactly. Coach
That was a
will be
good.
there.
That was a good time last year.
Yeah.
You know, with everyone that was there, and people got to come in and get pictures with all the wrestlers and get autographs from all the wrestlers. You know, and that's so it was just a good time, especially for the kids. Well, I say for the kids. There was a lot of adults that wanted their pictures and all
Exactly.
made as well. So just make sure you get there early. Be there early so you have plenty of time to meet and greet and get the pictures and the autographs from these wrestlers before everything kicks off.
Right, and also too, it's it's a first come first serve kind of thing. You know, you're going to have ringside seats, but there's not a bad seat in the house.
Right.
You know, you can be at the top of the balcony, and it's going to be good seats. You know,
And it was
the gym seats many people. I think it's like 1,300.
Yeah.
Principal Baker said, but this show right here, it's an excellent show. The card top to bottom is an excellent show. I would have had Ricky and Robert on the show, but fortunately for them, they're being inducted into the Hall of Fame the next night. So I'm
Nice.
proud of the Rock and Roll Express for that. Both of them are real good friends of mine. I've known them for years, but
And they came down last year.
They did.
didn't
They were here
there
last
last year, and you know, I just thank the guys that are coming to do it again, because these guys, you know, I don't know how many last year the wrestlers said, "Coach, anytime you need us or anytime we can help you raise these funds or whatever." So they were really good guys about that, and
Nice.
not arrogant and not snobby coming in there. They were there to talk and you know, understand what they were doing and what they were doing it for.
right, exactly. But Coach will also tell you, don't get Jim Cornette off on a tangent.
Oh my goodness! Well, he had to delay the show when he got Cornette off last year. It was. There are certain folks that Jim Cornette does not like.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always very vocal about that too. So if you give
I've
give him a chance, he'll tell you. So
I've known Jimmy for over 20 years, and there are, Coach is right. There are certain people you just don't talk about in front of Cornette. And I will say this: Elliott Russell last year, one of the heat seekers, made the mistake of bringing up a name, and we literally sat there for 40 minutes listening to a rant. But that's just Jim. And I think the world of Jim, and he's a good guy. And he wanted to be at this show as well. He's actually going to be out of the country.
oh wow,
And he won't be able to be there this year. But I do have him coming in on a future show that we're going to do later on. But right now it's all about spring fling. It's all about what we're doing with J&J Promotions, International All-Star Championship Wrestling. And like I say, this show right here is top to bottom. It's going to be a great show. The lumberjack match in itself should be incredible.
oh yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Keep in mind, too, that these lumberjacks that are going to be out there absolutely know nothing about the wrestling business. And Lord only knows if Samson rolls out of the ring, who's going to get their hands on this guy.
He's in for a rude awakening, so to speak.
To coin a phrase.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's going to be a great show. It's going to be for a great cause. We do want to put 1,000 people in this place.
Awesome.
I've got tickets now.
Yep.
You can message me on Facebook.
And I was going to mention that. Let me put this up here right now. International
Yeah, if
All-Star
somebody
Championship
watches
Wrestling
this,
on Facebook.
And somebody watches this after the fact, Facebook is the way to message to contact him to get tickets.
Yes, and
Correct.
it does say here, they're very responsive to messages on Facebook. So send a
Right.
message on Facebook, and you can.
You can also message J&J Promotions.
Okay.
As far as that goes on Facebook, they're on Facebook as well. They were kind enough to get with me and let me know that we could use as far as their inbox.
Okay.
They'll let us know who wants tickets. I've even got 6 folks from Alabama that have already sent us money orders and they've been mailed tickets. We got 3 coming in just from Tuscaloosa,
Nice.
just for this show.
Cool.
So it's interesting.
We'll buy our 4-day, but I want to buy it from a lumberjack. So we got to pick a player. We got to pick a position.
yeah.
We don't know any
I
of the
gotta-
players.
Who needs a little help on the sales?
You know, I don't know. They're supposed to bring them back in on Monday. We're actually on spring break this week,
Yeah.
so
That's
they're
right,
off
that's right.
doing it on
Well,
doing it on their own. But we'll make sure it's that what you do goes to one of the larger individuals that we have.
We want to
My
make sure that
son
Mr.
wants to
Sampson
play
can
tight
get away.
end this year.
Maybe
at
Mr.
Cleveland High
Robinson.
School,
Maybe Mr.
so-
Robinson's probably about 6'4.5", about 295 right now.
He's
so
little
we may,
fella.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a little fella.
we may,
we'll give him the money.
we may give him the money.
Nice.
Any person that can go out there and make Jerry Sampson's day miserable,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
what Ronnie and I both enjoy doing. And if you watch the shows,
Oh my gosh, he is not a fan of you guys and your commentary.
Oh, no,
in fact,
absolutely not.
I think that he has blamed his losses on your commentary just because he hears you just commenting on the match, and I guess that's enough to distract
all
him to
Jerry,
lose. So
I'm sorry, all Ronnie and I do is we discuss what's going on in the ring.
Right.
When Coach Fitzgerald was out there with us, and he was doing the same exact thing, it seemed like he was blaming Coach Fitzgerald more than he was blaming Ronnie and I. But if there's no one there, you're right, Jay. It's always Joe
Something.
Kazan and Ronnie Garvin. You've done nothing but come out here and cost me this match. You'll jump up and down. You'll kick the ropes. I'm waiting on him to really shed a tear.
he may.
Well,
I think if
it's a
these
matter of
lumberjacks
time.
get a hold of him, he may be crying by the end of the night. So
I think it's a good possibility, and again, I think that if he gets in Coach Fitzgerald's face one too many times, I think that he may wish that he hadn't got out of bed that morning.
drop him.
That's what I think.
Drop him, Coach. Drop him.
Now, would you be saying the same thing if it was Izzy Slapowitz?
No, that's my homeboy,
Exactly. Now, Josh doesn't like him. I know that.
Josh.
Yeah, it's the Yanks over here. Got to stick together.
Nice. All right, I'll throw this up here one more time. Do not miss this. Spring Fling 17 triple main event, Meigs County High School, Saturday, April 1st. Doors open at 6:15. Meet and greet. Bell time 7:30. $10 admission. First come, first serve. Get there early. All proceeds go to the Meigs County football team. And kids 3 and under are free.
Oh,
so bring
absolutely free,
bring
all
your
day
youngins. So thank you guys for coming in today. I
We
really
appreciate
appreciate
you
you
having
taking the
us.
time.
Thank you for having us.
And anything that we can do for you guys, we'll get you. And we'll also be giving away between now and April 1st 4 tickets. So tune into the Good Morning Show, and we'll be giving those away so you can go check out this awesome event. All going to a very good cause for the Meigs County football team. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
so much.
We will take a break, and we'll be right back.